Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20. I hope you're doing well today. I am. I just got back from my 2.6 mile walk. It's probably the only one I'm going to get today because I'm doing a Maria Emmerich recipe, and although she says prep time is 10 minutes, that's probably after her assistant leaves, after measuring out the 2 of this and the half a tea of that and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to it, though. So anyway, I was thinking as I was walking, I was listening to a podcast with a naturopathic doctor who, until 2013, never heard of keto, which is kind of funny because what would we give to have our insurance cover a naturopathic doctor, right? So, and she's probably my age. And in 2013, her regular doctor gave her the bad news that she's diabetic. And she's like, what? Diabetic? I've always watched my food. I've always had wholesome food and whole grains and whole grains. And so when her female doctor gave her the list of things that she could have, it was suggested that she have 45 carbs with each meal. And of course there were 3 meals, and of course snacks were allowed. Wow! That's what got most of us here. Oh my! So anyway, it was very, very interesting. But she was talking about the pressure of social situations. And it's July, it's midsummer, and probably most of us have been in a social situation because it's warm out, where the pressure to have something that everybody else is having is on you. And all of the, come on, it's only once, you look great, you know, especially if they haven't seen you and you've lost some weight while being on keto. So instead of honoring the keto while you're there, you know, go off it just for one day. It's not going to hurt you. And of course, right before I listened to these 2 women, I was listening to Dr. Davis Undoctored, and he was talking about having grains after you've been fully fat, keto adapted, and not having grains, and how long the residuals can be in your body and take to get rid of. And for some people, like with RA, it could thrust them right back into the worst of the worst, and they might even have to go back on medication just to get out of having an exposure to grains that maybe they weren't even looking for, you know. So anyway, let me see if I can get more light. It's one of those sun in, out things. So the pressure. So this woman was saying all the obvious things, you know, look for the cheese tray, have some raw veggies just in case. If you're supposed to bring something that you can eat yourself. And then she said, sometimes there's pressure to drink, and I'm a recovering alcoholic, so it's not something that I'm thinking about, but she suggested this, and maybe for you guys, you could do this. And she did say, by the way, the alcohol, not to mention the carbs in the alcohol, can wreak havoc with your metabolism and your keto way of eating. So to the people that drink their dinner instead of having a keto meal because that's how they choose to spend their carbs, it's just maybe not in your best interest metabolically, even if you have permission from somebody, which to me is always the what? I mean, you know, sugar and carbs, sugar and grains were what got me here. Alcohol was what got me to AA, but, you know, having a regular diet of alcohol, it's especially on an empty stomach, is what got a lot of people to AA, just saying. Anyway, I digress. So she said, if you do drink and you know you're getting pressure to have something and you really don't want to, and the accommodations for water or bubbly sparkling water just aren't there, and you're not having a diet soda, I hope. She said, take a can of beer, empty out the beer, wash out the beer, and fill it with water, and walk around with it. And then that's a shut-up tool, isn't it? And then, so she said that one time she did it, and she just had that same can of beer filled with water the whole night, and it was a was a teacher faculty type of thing. And the next day, somebody said to her, "You really were pretty tipsy last night," and it was just water. So she was kind of like harring about that. So there is pressure. There's pressure from everywhere. And I met my girlfriend who used to live here. She's up from North Carolina, so we met at this gourmet, get this, gourmet donut place. I mean, talk about a town that is ripe for a real restaurant. And it's funny because in my 20s, I worked in one there, and it was notorious. There was a line from 6 a.m. on. They served till 2. It was incredible, their food. And it was earthy, crunchy. Everybody in the kitchen was high on something. And when they weren't, they were so moody it was impossible to get the order corrected because they just had a hangover. But, yeah, so we went in and there was such a wait. We were outside for like almost an hour, it seemed. And finally, our name got called with the offer of, "Would you sit at the counter?" And it's like, yeah, at this point. So what does the counter look at? Well, if you're in a gourmet donut shop, what do you think it looks at? These, just the racks and racks of gourmet, hand cut, blah, blah, blah. And I never was a DD fan. I always found their stuff so standardized and commercial, and, I'm not. But, one-of-a-kind donut shop with hand cut. So, anyway, it was a little bit triggering, but I had my omelet and my bacon, but no home fries, no toast, no hand-cut donut. And the server kept saying, "Are you sure?" So she brought out this, like, 2 plates, one with the bacon and one with the omelet. And, in a place like that, it was like, what's wrong with you? But I got through it. At least they had cheddar jack cheese, so that was kind of fun. So, yeah, that was a trigger. And you might find other triggers in the summer at some of these places. Just driving by food events, you can smell barbecues and things like that, not to mention all these cute little shops that have all the extras. And so this doctor, now that she knows that she has diabetes, they tried to push metformin on her. She said, "No, thank you." The interviewer said, "What are the top 3 things?" And she said, "Well, it came down to weighing and measuring and reading the label and understanding that the label is per serving and that the package might contain 4 servings, and to be really conscious of that." And she said, "Gosh, I should have taken a picture of what is in my grocery cart." And I'm thinking, like all those times I haven't done that, I've done little grocery hauls. So, no matter what food program or how you operate your keto, if it's under 75, if it's under 50, if it's under 20, if you have alcohol, I hope it's tracked. Everything matters. Everything matters. And if you think not putting in that portion of chocolate that you had on the run, you forgot, sure you did, it matters to your body. And just know that, what I try to do when I'm, sitting in front of the floor-to-ceiling pastries while I'm eating my cheese omelet with bacon, what I try to remember is what got me to being where I was, to being bloated, to being definitely overweight, to not aging very well, to having what I used to be so proud of my cast iron stomach, but really, I heard somebody say, I was reading some dumb quotes, and one guy said, "My beer belly is to protect my organs. I don't want anything to hit my organs and damage them." It's like, oh, isn't that so funny? Anyway. Did you have logic when you were overweight and get there before other people? I kind of did. I kind of got there before another person could get to my weight or how I was looking before them. That self-deprecating sort of thing. Yeah, those were the days, and I don't like those days now that I look at it. So, And my friend had a stack of blueberry pancakes, by the way. Yeah, with the fake syrup and the butter. And you know the butter's 60-40. Haven't worked in a restaurant yet where they give you real butter, although some of them do at dinner time. But when I worked in that breakfast place that I was mentioning, you know, they had like what you would make a pizza in at a pizza parlor, you know, a pizza batch so you get 50 pieces, you know, pounds and pounds and pounds of butter and margarine mixed. And if you've become as adapted to butter as I have, the good stuff, you would know right away. Some people say ask for butter pats on the side. Some people say in a restaurant ask for fresh cracked eggs so you're not getting eggs with anything else in them. So there's just all those sort of things. There's lots of pressure this time of year, be it you're with a friend on the run, doing an event. The event has all these things, or you're at a house, you're at a potluck, you're even putting on a cookout. We have to be ever, ever, ever aware of our surroundings if you want to stay abstinent to your program. And it doesn't ask a lot. The more time you have under your belt that's abstinent, the more clean days of tracking, of weighing, of measuring, of momentum, the better off you'll do at some of these events. And learning how to say no thank you to the pushers. You know, they just want company when they're doing their naughty eating or drinking. And we can avoid it. It's challenging. And of course, when we're here, we see how we can be challenged just by somebody. You know, I have a snarky troll again, and I had to delete him again yesterday. And it's like he was born to correct me. He said, I usually listen to specialists, but you have such a, what term did he use? He used a kind of a nasty term as an adjective to what he found me. And like he's gracing me with his criticism. Oh boy. So so even here in a community of people that want to do better for themselves, you will find either the naysayers, the I don't track, the lazy keto, the I allow more carbs, you know, I'm addicted to keto recipes and desserts and breads. So we still, you know, it's hard being a salmon. It's hard being structured and disciplined, and even seeing the food porn on the places that we love to be to get our keto oomph, our motivation. And so anyway, you're not alone if it's happening to you. You may feel like you're alone at that moment at the party, but you know you're not alone. You know, just WWSD. What would Sarah do? What would other people do that don't drink on the keto food plan, that weigh and measure, that track their things, that, you know, really try to stay true to themselves, be it, you know, at a party. Probably the way that I would do it is I would have a hamburger and a hot dog without the buns, and I would look for something like pickles or a salad or something safe. I would ask the hostess if she had any extra virgin olive oil instead of one of those Frankenfood dressings, and I would get through it. You know, I don't know. We do what we do, but we're aware, and we plan, and then we process, and sometimes we even pray to not overeat or eat the wrong things. So anyway, you can do it. I know it's not easy. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, Social Pressures. We can do it. You won't see me with a beer can with water, but there's the tip. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye for now.